9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Greetings superior beings, greetings supreme being, welcome to Universal Peace Television. This is a late night broadcast after 1 o'clock at night. This is a broadcast about the final solution originally being a Jewish idea, and the Wikipedia article on the final solution not mentioning this. This is weird. And if you have any evidence that proves otherwise, the wiki article makes clear the Germans had that idea in 1942, while Theodor Kaufman in his book Germany Must Perish mentioned the final solution for the first time according to sources online in 1941. So then that's kind of important basically, and history is written by the victor, so don't believe everyone. Check it out for yourself, and well, this broadcast is going to cover that and some other things that are interesting, some interesting pictures, and yeah, I advise you all to watch my previous broadcasts for Universal Peace. And single ladies are welcome for a free shiatsu hand massage. Single ladies between 16 and 60 for Universal Peace. So let's, I usually use this method that I let the speech engine read an article. In my previous broadcast, the speech engine crashed. I couldn't restart it. It has to do with the CPU, but I think it will work, so here we go. And then in the meantime I'll also do a picture show. Okay, switch to the video capture device. This is the wrong one. Display capture. I have to get used to it again because everything changed after the power outage. I had to reinstall all these things. For example, my UPTV logo, everything you see here had to be re-enlisted, and some other things on my computer strangely were not functioning like before. Anyway, I think it's reasonably well at the moment. It's functioning reasonably well, and I still have to select the text. Another thing was FT Deep Dark for Firefox does not work anymore. That's the skin of Firefox basically. Now I'm using other ones. I hope they fixed that for the latest version of Firefox, because FT Deep Dark is my favorite. I don't really like personas because then the URL bar is not black. And they might update FT Deep Dark reasonably fast, I hope. It's really great, and people can give donations if they like something. So those billionaires and millionaires might do that also to make it a better world. But yet it's better to stimulate creation and invest in a permanent cure against aging, controlling the 23 factors that control aging to create a perfect society in which we all will live happily eternally, not just the elite and pedo elite. Alright, so I'll first read some of my latest writings, and then the wiki article for Universal Peace. Let's see if this works.
Writings for Universal Peace 2017 free. We have to fight together for the sake of our destruction. Things that indicate that the ISS is fake. 1. Bubbles coming from the astronaut suits, not Michael Jackson's monkey. 2. A partially invisible astronaut on NASA's own video, like the partially invisible Apollo moon landing hoax astronauts. 3. The cables they hang on in the zero-gravity plane to pretend they are in a weightless environment. Clinton says two-state solution would have entailed a lot of blood, gore, Turmoil in Israel, Middle East Philippines on March 13, 2017. See more at mondowise.net. Dulcet decorum est. Read here, on Wikisource, is a poem written by Wilfred Owen during World War I, and published posthumously in 1920. The Latin title is taken from the Roman poet Horace and means it is sweet and honorable. Followed by Pro Patria Mori, which means to die for one's country. There is no honor in fighting your fellow humans. Last of the emoji cams, water-powered car Danny Klein patent. If meteors can fall from the sky unpredicted and a man in India can be killed by a meteor impacting India, then what do we have NASA for? Google searches for WW3 hit highest ever peak. Google searches for the term World War III have hit the highest ever level as a result of the Trump administration's escalation in Syria and North Korea. Google Trends illustrates how the number of searches for the term in recent days dwarfs the last peak in November 2015. Related search queries include Syria War, Trump World War III and Syria World War III, which is also attracting the highest search interest ever recorded. Infowars.com via birdflu666.wordpress.com. Why can't a U-2 spy plane go into space? Like, fly to the moon. U-2 spy plane can fly at 70,000 feet, 21,336 meters, about 21 kilometers they claim is its maximum height. Why can't a U-2 fly into space? Air too thin? U-2 pilots are astronauts, aren't they? Van Allen belts. Earth's two main belts extend from an altitude of about 1,000 to 60,000 kilometers above the surface, in which region radiation levels vary. The Earth's atmosphere limits the belt's particles to regions above 200 to 1,000 kilometers, while the belts do not extend past 8 Earth radii. The belts are confined to a volume which extends about 65 degrees on either side of the celestial equator. The total radiation received by the astronauts varied from mission to mission but was measured to be between 0.16 and 1.14 rads, 1.6 and 11.4 mg, much less than the standard of 5 rem, 50 msv, per year set by the United States Atomic Energy Commission for people who work with radioactivity. Wiki Van Allen radiation belt. So, if the Wiki article is correct, people can easily pass through the Van Allen belts in a spaceship or rocket like the one they used, so the Van Allen belt cannot be a reason. The money alone, $150 billion for the IS station, would be enough reason for many people to fake it like they did. There may be other reasons we have not been told about, like hiding certain flying saucer technologies from the people of planet Earth, like artificial gravity, technology to make objects invisible by bending light, anti-gravity technology, and even time travel and cloaking technology. The hoax is allegedly perpetrated by Freemasons that you can see making their Masonic handshakes in space. This way they hope to keep an advantage over the people. They see it as a rat race, to depopulate and enslave humanity. Because my right to press charges of incitement to commit genocide against people with book quotes and Georgia Guidestones that prove they want to depopulate the earth, which is, in fact, not overpopulated at all, was illegally refused by the police, who would not list my charges. I consider this more important and thus do not give them the benefit of the doubt. This is why I left out the idea that the technology is hidden from the people for safety reasons, which may be an idea the neural network may plant in our brain with synthetic telepathy to mislead us. This is why it wants us to believe it's a deity, so their brain control is not switched off. How can it change direction if there is no air? The engines may use some air or whatever. You cannot burn anything without air?
These are the police provocateurs dancing on the cancer-causing taffy-nailless police cars. These are non-water-powered cars, 2017. And the Danny Klein patent proves that they have a water-powered car. Of course, you might build one, but you may not sell it, so they are basically the ones blocking that water-powered car for everybody. And if they were serious about it, then they'd pay for that patent and then everybody could drive on water. But of course they want to use cancer oil to control the population and create a crisis big enough to depopulate the Earth to 500 million. A more controllable number to be able to totally brain control everybody with that technology, synthetictelepathy.com. So let's continue. Perhaps I'll fast forward to the part about Final Solution.
There are millions of people that claim the following space missions paid for with your tax money are a hoax, a scam, fake. 1. The Apollo moon landings. Sound cannot travel in a vacuum, which it can on NASA's own video. 2. The $150 billion costing ISS bubbles from spacesuit during spacewalk, not Michael Jackson's monkey, a partially invisible astronaut in the NASA video. Again, same with Apollo hoax, and cable harness visible on NASA ISS material, comparable to Apollo moon landing hoax cables. 3. The Mars lander rover. Mojave Desert squirrels on Mars? I do not believe it.
So once in a while, because of the CPU problem, the speech engine is not reading the text properly. So I'll show the text that's read out and it's easier to understand. Apologies for that, I might cure it soon.
The partially invisible astronaut supposedly in the ISS may be in a zero-gravity plane dropping and can thus not go to the right because there are no real exits on the left and right like there would be in a real ISS if it exists. That may explain the astronaut is partially invisible when he goes right. Did you really went to the moon? Satellites may be fake, but I doubt it, because tolerance to the mushroom occurs. There's your answer. Ulrich Kaufman 1 second ago. The Earth is spherical and the people that want a global government are dying wasting their money on depopulating Earth to increase their power instead of investing in controlling the 23 or so factors that control aging. The Earth is spherical, which you can prove to yourself by overlooking a bay. The buildings on the other end of the bay seem to be partially underwater because of the Earth's curvature. More stuff they really do not want you to know to depopulate you on my channel. https www.youtube.com/user/Ulrich Kaufman/ videos. They mix the obvious lie that the Earth is flat with the truth that the Apollo moon landings are a hoax. The ISS is fake and the Mars rover is fake to make people think that those are lies as well, and to change the subject to flat eartherism instead of scientific proof and evidence that exposes they are fraudulent hoaxers, scammers. My response to the video, Flat Earth, Why the Lie? On Eric Dubé's channels. Phi F equals 1.618, Pi P equals 3.14. Diatomaceous earth food grade, iodine, top is pot backwards. Feel at one with the sea, earth, universe. Sense its presence. See its beauty, evolution. Alien false flag event underway, MGTV 654 views 11 hours ago. Two-state solution world war underway. Project Bluebeam, the fake alien invasion was exposed. Have funded. So it is not knots. Temperatures in the upper thermosphere can range from about 500 degrees Celsius to 2000 degrees Celsius or higher. And the satellites are supposedly in the thermosphere. Do you believe it? The highly diluted gas in this layer can reach 2500 degrees Celsius during the day. Weak thermosphere. So why does the gas reach this temperature and not the satellites? Because it's diluted supposedly? Even though the temperature is so high, one would not feel warm in the thermosphere, because it is so near vacuum that there is not enough contact with a few atoms of gas to transfer much heat. A normal thermometer might be significantly below 0 degrees Celsius, at least at night, because the energy lost by thermal radiation would exceed the energy acquired from the atmospheric gas by direct contact. In the anacoustic zone above 160 kilometers, 99 miles, the density is so low that molecular interactions are too infrequent to permit the transmission of sound. So what has a temperature of 500 to 2000 degrees Celsius or higher in the upper thermosphere? How can the gas molecules be 2500 degrees Celsius and the satellites have a temperature of below 0 Celsius? Did anyone check this? Or do they all just believe what they read? Artificial satellites have been filmed and observed from Earth and are real. After evaluating loads of videos and studying it, I can safely claim the Apollo moon landings are a hoax. The Earth is oblong, spherical, not flat. Satellites are real. I have not found any evidence that proves whether the ISS is fake or real beyond any reasonable doubt, or that proves or disproves that astronauts have actually circled the Earth in it. Some claim it's a hologram, others that it's a fake space station, so there is actually a station up there. Because it's so easy to let your own balloon with camera ascend to space and rockets can lift off without falling back to Earth. I think a space station could be real, but because of the bubbles rising up from spacesuits, the NASA video with the partially invisible astronaut and the visible harness that shows where the cables that were CGI'd out are attached, that the astronauts are fake, people in a zero-gravity plane and in a water basin to simulate gravity, not real astronauts. In other words, the space station is real, but astronauts cannot exist in space at that altitude for some reason, or it's more lucrative to run a hoax. The Mars rover is most probably fake, since it's highly improbable the Mojave Desert squirrel on NASA's own supposed Mars rover pictures can exist on Mars. Why are there no photos of Earth from space, only composites? Why is the water blue everywhere on these pictures though the seawater in the Netherlands looks brown? How can the US look small on one supposed picture of Earth and big on another? There may be answers to all these questions, and the questions themselves can be lies. I'm just curious. Kickstarter funding, STS-135, Atlantis, NIS is in broad daylight, 7/17/11. Astronomy Live, of course it could be a CGI, a fake space station, or a hologram for $150 billion, but where is the evidence that proves or disproves this? So I think the ISS is real, but the astronauts on it are Luciferians equals Freemasons that are not really in space unless there is a good explanation for the bubbles, which cannot be space debris because of the way they move and other reasons. The harness that shows where the cables are attached. Also see video of Sandra Bullock in the movie Gravity with cables attached that were CGI'd out in the movie, and the NASA video that shows the partially invisible astronaut, which is impossible. Their hair would not stand up the way it does on their videos under weightless conditions. See zero-gravity plane material. Space debris, junk, waste, trash, or litter is the collection of defunct man-made objects in space, old satellites, spent rocket stages, and fragments from disintegration, erosion, and collisions, including those caused by debris itself. A terminator or twilight zone is a moving line that separates the illuminated day side and the dark night side of a planetary body. Where the sun rises or sets, Earth's atmosphere can be divided, called atmospheric stratification, into 5 main layers: troposphere, 0 to 12 kilometers, stratosphere, 12 to 50 kilometers, mesosphere, 50 to 80 kilometers, thermosphere, 80 to 700 kilometers, exosphere, 700 to 10,000 kilometers. Why is Einstein's long hair not standing up like that of the supposed astronauts in the zero-G plane? Comment to the video. Zero gravity flight with Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch, how do you turn the Wi-Fi off? Use airplane mode. If you do this from the system settings, you can choose to enable disable individual wireless options, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, NFC. Note that turning off Wi-Fi on while airplane mode is on will turn off airplane mode. You also have to do this while the system is undocked, but it will stay on when the system is docked. Cancer. Cell phone radiation not just causes cancer but also DNA damage and lumping red blood cells, which you can show with a reproducible test you can do yourself. Silly Rap Valley instead of Silicon Valley. They don't think, if I sit on the grass they will crawl up my ass. So they haven't learned their lesson yet. Tabelu Razor, the velvet on their crowd, the clue, Dick Glue, Yard Crusher. Tax March protesters call on Trump to release his tax returns. Soros-funded fascist Antifa mobs are surrounding innocents and beating them bloody. This is paid terrorism. Dax, Trump is no different to Theresa May, both collaborators, openly pledging their allegiance to the Jewish empire which occupies our territories and forces mass immigration and war upon us. bbs.dailystormer.com/t/ Trump delivers bizarre weekly address praising Jews and Israel /99359/148. The Satan-worshipping Khazarian Mafia made a fatal miscalculation last week when they blackmailed U.S. President Trump into becoming their slave zombie. Pentagon and other sources agree. The Satanists posted videos of opium-poisoned babies being murdered by doctors and used that as an excuse for Trump to order an illegal missile attack against Syria. However, the real reason Trump ordered this illegal attack is because he is being blackmailed by the Satanists with a video they have of him murdering a 12-year-old girl named Mary. Pentagon and CIA sources say. BenjaminFluffer.net. Khazarian Satanists fatally expose themselves by turning Trump into a zombie slave. The Trump team is still searching for a two-state solution. The National Interest Online blog, April 11, 2017. Trump's envoy pushing two-state solution as about U.S. visit nears. Monitor, April 9, 2017. If the world powers imposed a two-state solution, war would be inevitable. With neither side having accepted the other, both sides would be arming themselves for war from day one. News.nationalpost.com. Two-state solution, how multiculturalism's two-state solution. Theorizing. Two-state solution world war. Two-state solution in Israel will not work, Washington Times, but a two-state solution world war will. There can be no two-state solution in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Independent.co.uk. Palestini, Anne. The Teeny of the Palace. The Tiny Palestini. Skull and Bones. Kerry accuses Israel of jeopardizing two-state solution. FT.com. Typical controlled opposition to themselves. No alternative to the two-state solution. Americans for Peace Now. peacenow.org. A one-state solution world war. But how? Israel-Palestinian conflict. Two-state solution not only option. U.S. says. BBC.com. How the fuck can the creation of two states that can go to war with each other lead to peace? It's like the principle of vaccines, injecting some sewer water and hoping you become immune. These people are fucking nuts, I'm telling you. UN chief says no alternative to two-state solution. The forward.com, pretending it's their only option, that will work. Okay, no alternative to one-state solution. If you want multiculturalism, the zero-state solution is the only option. President Trump, defund the UN, and denounce the two-state solution. December 29, 2016. The Quran demands a world of submission or of war. Townhall.com. It's the satanic inversion. They simply pretend the opposite of what is true is the truth. Trump is a Nazi fascist, not a Jew lover with his all-Jewish team, and Israel does not want the two-state solution to create a third world war, global government to rule the world from Zion, Jerusalem, lol. Satanic inversion. David Friedman, Trump's nominee as U.S. ambassador to Israel, is an Orthodox Jew, kippah and all, and he does not hide his disregard for the current two-state solution proposed by Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu. Townhall.com. Some Jews want to pretend that non-Jews are not human. Only Jews are human, and Jews are less than excrement, like claimed in the Talmud and Mijdrecht. Quote, the only humans live in Zion, unquote. The Matrix 1, satanic inversion. Pro-Trump, anti-Trump protesters clash in Berkeley. ABC 7 News. If the Nazis and Antifa people are both present and the pro and anti-Trump people are both present, someone must have set this up. Soros perhaps. Are they going for martial law and a global government? Not without a two-state solution world war, of course. Pre-order your stake in the New World Order. Our Kickstarter will work. Send us your money now. Freedom. Pito and Ernie. Brain control me. They hip. Know me. 5 things NASA doesn't want you to know. Sign seance. Alian. Neo. Cunts. Partially invisible astronaut ISS explained. This video does not exist on YouTube at the moment. April 16, 2017. NASA hoax astronauts are transparent frauds. The ISS doesn't exist. The Truth Prism. Great video. Thank you for making this vid. Be prepared for a possible two-state solution world war with a radiological water filter in storable food. Because of the bubbles rising up from spacesuits. The NASA video with the partially invisible astronaut and the visible harness that shows where the cables that were CGI'd out are attached, it's clear that the astronauts are fake, people in a zero-gravity plane and in a water basin to simulate gravity, not real astronauts. There are millions of people that claim the following space missions paid for with your tax money are a hoax, a scam, fake. 1. The Apollo moon landings. Sound cannot travel in a vacuum, which it can on NASA's own video. 2. The $150 billion costing ISS bubbles from spacesuit during spacewalk, not Michael Jackson's monkey, a partially invisible astronaut in the NASA video. Again, same with Apollo hoax, and cable harness visible on NASA ISS material, comparable to Apollo moon landing hoax cables. 3. The Mars Lander rover. Mojave Desert squirrels on Mars? I do not believe it. The partially invisible astronaut supposedly in the ISS may be in a zero-gravity plane dropping and can thus not go to the right because there are no real exits on the left and right like there would be in a real ISS if it exists. That may explain the astronaut is partially invisible when he goes right. Controlled opposition YouTubers usually have a lot of viewers according to the YouTube counter, which may be controlled by NSA Mi-56 with wireless energy. The Earth is spherical or rather oblong, not a perfect sphere. Overlooking a bay, the buildings visible on the other end of the water seem to be partially underwater because of the Earth's curvature. Investing controlling the factors that control aging instead of wars in the fake astronauts. Universal peace now. My comment to the YouTube video, NASA hoax astronauts are transparent frauds. The ISS doesn't exist. Trump's Jewish team is gonna save all the goyim. Lol. He will prevent the two-state solution world war for his Jesuit buddies that want world peace, not universal war. Lol. It is possible people that claim they want a global government do not really want a global government. They just pretend they want a global government not to be tortured with directed energy weapons most people are reluctant to talk about because then they are tortured a lot more and sometimes even murdered.
I have to grab my microphone. In this case, lol can also mean hee hee. So that they'll prevent a world war. Lol. That's great fun. Though some people might interpret it like lol. It's a joke, it's not gonna happen, so they are going to create this two-state solution world war. Whatever may be the case, it's better to be prepared with that radiological water filter and storable food. Just to test if this works. Pretty good lighting. I like it. Okay, so then we continue the text reading. Because it's pretty good material, so it's better. You can always fast forward to the part about the two-state solution, because that's the only thing you're interested in. So the radiological water filter and storable food, peanut butter and rice.
They do that with the 5-volt through-the-wall antenna array in Poker Flat, Alaska. Wireless energy, not microwaves, which is what they let the people they brain control pretend. Does anybody know the name of Alex Jones' mother? Alexander Emmerich Jones is his full name. Alex Jones claimed he is a Jew in the videos. Who is Alex Jones? Super Deluxe Supercuts taken from. Alex Jones claims he is Jewish in InfoWars Libertarian Tea Party, Quebec Truth Movement. This does not prove he had a Jewish mother and is therefore Jewish in the eyes of the rabbis. Anybody can claim to be Jewish. Like I said, I do not believe in the concept of being Jewish, but they do. We are all descendants of Lucy, and the hominids is what I claim, not what they claim, though they may agree it's scientifically proven like evolution and the Big Bang. Denying these facts will not make them go away. Some claim Alex Jones has the right of return to Israel when martial law is declared, and InfoWars only exists to round up people that could form real resistance to the Jews and non-Jews, Jesuits, Masons, depopulating them. A two-state solution world war may be the only way to depopulate Earth to 500 million total global population and impose a global government upon the ones that are left. This is so everyone can be brain-controlled with synthetic telepathy, sweet no and no fire. Divide and rule, in politics, sociology, and economics, a strategy to gain or maintain power. Divide and conquer algorithm, in computer science, an algorithm design paradigm based on recursion. Israelis are forbidden by law to marry non-Jews. There is no country where it is forbidden to marry a Jew, is there? Only those who are recognized as Jews according to Orthodox Jewish law can get married in Israel. Israel's Jews-only marriage laws explained. DavidDuke.com. Isn't that racist? Erica Wolf, Alex Jones' new Jewish escort wife, AlexJonesExposed.info. Alex Jones' Jewish cabal? Alex Jones' Jewish ex-wife and children all qualify for Israeli citizenship under Israel's law of return. Alex Jones is funded by at least 34 Jewish sponsors and advertisers whom financially support his radio show and websites. AlexJonesExposed.info. Steve Steinway, Ashkenazi Jew, CEO. Rick Olshansky, Ashkenazi Jew, Chairman. Steve Schenck, Ashkenazi Jew, President/Company Founder. Ron Hubbard, Ashkenazi Jew, Founder/President/CEO. Not the Hubbard of Scientology exposed by TV series South Park. Goodfit, educational. Learn what Scientologists actually believe by watching this South Park episode. Bill Hyde, Ashkenazi Jew, CEO. Henry James Thielman, Ashkenazi Jew, CEO/Company Founder. Leonard G. Horowitz, Ashkenazi Jew, Owner/Operator selling colloidal silver. The list goes on and on. See AlexJonesExposed.info. Anonymous, January 30, 2017 at 8:46 a.m. Excellent research with irrefutable evidence. No wonder they keep so quiet about ZOG. Alex Jones and Watson are scam artists. AlexJonesExposed.info/ Alex-Jones-and-Jewish-sponsors. Zionist Occupation Government or Zionist Occupied Government, abbreviated as ZOG, is an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory that holds that Jews secretly control a given country, while the formal government is a puppet regime. The expression is used by anti-Semitic groups such as white supremacists in the United States and Europe, as well as by ultra-nationalists such as Pomiot in Russia, and various far-right groups. The word Zionist in Zionist occupation government should not be confused with the ideology.
Microphone up here. Yeah, at this point I'd like to add that if there are facts that prove it beyond any reasonable doubt, then it's not a conspiracy theory. I'm a conspiracy factist. And these people, of course, lie, for example, about cancer chemtrails, about the WTC, which has thermate, a form of thermite, was found in the streets and analyzed by Dr. Alex Jones. In reality, so you can Google that if you want to find out more about what really happened. They also crashed these wireless fly-by-wire planes into the building with wireless energy, aka scalar waves, which may be the thing used to brain control everyone, and they don't use microwaves for their directed energy weapon attacks, so you can only measure them with a scalar detector you can build yourself. Professor Dr. Mile also shows how to control a boat with wireless energy, and solar panels can be used in space, and then the energy can be beamed down to Earth. Nowadays you also have these wireless chargers, etc. But it may be harmful, so to stay away from these things that emit a shitload of cancer-causing energy, usually microwaves. To turn off Bluetooth and put your device in airplane mode for yourself, your own body. It causes DNA breaks. They lie about this. Cancer and lumping red blood cells, a symptom known to doctors as rouleau.
Of Zionism, the movement for support of a Jewish state in the land of Israel. Because the conspiracy theorists chiefly name countries outside that area, the usage of Zionist in this context is misleading, and it is intended to portray Jews as conspirators who aim to control the world, as in the forged protocols of the Elders of Zion. So Alex Jones claimed to be Jewish like Eminem, real name Marshall Mathers. Global government equals zero state solution, no states nor countries, only a global government. We are all five a global government. The term conspiracy theory implies that it has not been proven yet, that it's just a theory. I'm not a debunker nor conspiracy theorist. I am a real conspiracy factist. Copy? Right. So, it's copyright, not copy wrong. Oh my gosh. Sellers that are turned into a radiological water filter. Perhaps it's an idea from your future. You never know, could be wrong. The tax players have lights. Isn't it illegal to interfere with a peaceful pro-Trump rally? How about the Antifa people throwing bombs? Is that allowed? and the rest a girl being it in the head writing quote determined to bring back 100 Nazi scalps unquote on Instagram. Is that allowed? Antifa terrorists throw bombs at Trump rally goers. Demonetized video, Roy Adams. Some of the violent Antifa crowd people may have been police provocateurs, dressed as ninjas. One of the ways to recognize police provocateurs, Antifa were throwing M80s today at Berkeley Trump rally. Here is one video, more coming soon. HD 1280x720 by Deplorable News. It's clear the pro-Trumpers were hit from the videos. There is even a 360-degree video of the Berkeley pro-Trump demo. It's clear the protesters fighting were not smoking dope. I have the right not to choose if I am an unbeliever or believer. If you fill it in, then you filled it in. I did not. The plebs rule. I am for deporting the criminals, not hard-working foreigners that have learned to speak American that deserve citizenship. Illegally entering the U.S. is a crime as well, and you can make a date, say 3 years ago. If they came into the U.S. illegally before 2014, they may stay if they have no criminal record. Sending back some of these great people hurts some people's feelings they have for their fellow humans. Or they have to learn to speak American. If they want to stay, they have to be able to communicate. If they stay, they have no guest status anymore. I still support Trump and hope he makes this adjustment to at least deport the criminal illegals first, not the ones that did no other crime but illegally entering the U.S. If he does not, I do not believe these illegals would have contributed a lot or anything to the U.S. economy, and perhaps the U.S. citizens are better off without them. In reality, they were shouting, "Nazis come, get off on streets, fuck their police." It's the unseen eye, not all-seeing. New poll finds majority of Americans have smoked marijuana. NBC April 17, 2017. Annual cannabis use by country. Bye-bye. And George Soros was not there again, at the demo. And I checked many videos. 1. Tax and re-regulate Wall Street. Wall Street speculators, not the American people, are responsible for the ongoing economic depression. Make them pay. Our flagship demand is a 1% sales tax on stocks, bonds and derivatives to stop state and federal budget cuts. Tax Wall.
So I advise you all to watch that video on YouTube about the Antifa girl who attacked the person first, which they often don't show. Punch the Antifa girl is a victim according to fake news CBS. And he makes clear she was holding a bottle and she attacked first, he claims, and he may not mention her name, but it is in the video. And she wants, she wrote on Instagram that she wants the scalps, to bring back the scalps of 100 Nazis or something. And I was wondering if that's allowed. So what do you all think? Please let me know in the comments or Skype Prologic999. That's LA Werewolf Entertainment on YouTube, the channel LA Werewolf. I don't know if that's how you normally spell werewolf. Okay, then we can continue. Peace to him then, and also thanks for uploading it to give more insight into what really happened and who started, etc. To catch the real bad guys. Don't we all?
Street Party, a fighting program to rebuild America, TWSPS. Perhaps we should all be tax exempt like the pedo elite. I mean, the corporations. WTC it. Are you definitized? USA. Racists come, get all of it way. Two-state solution required to protect the Jews, the chosen people in their eyes. During the Jesuits' long-planned Third World War, they first have to be separated, and perhaps it would be best to first build a wall. It's obvious they cannot keep living together like they have been doing all this time. Something must be done to create their new world order, and depopulate Earth to 500 million total global population, unquote. Hear Prince's unreleased song Deliverance for the first time. Nerdist.com. If they release it, people can copy it. There is no way around that, I'm afraid. Are they gonna let the elevator break us down? Prince supposedly died in an elevator. 57. 57 Twist Little Susie and Go to Heaven. From the song Housequake. Prince and Vanity both died at 57. Prince was murdered, sleep deprivated by MI5. They always pretend their Illuminati blood oath murders are due to a drug overdose. Most people do not know how long Prince did not sleep before his death. One of their favorite ways to torture people is sleep deprivating people, and they also do that to make people more controllable. They let my father sleep about 3 hours a night, for example, and cause restless legs syndrome in millions of people around the world, usually things for which their supposed doctors claim there is no cure. Most people do not realize they are being tortured with directed energy weapons. If their neural network has time travel capability, it may have tortured innocent people to death throughout the centuries. I do not believe the Jesuit infant eaters that tortured my mother to death with their 5-ball array in Poker Flat, Alaska will create a world war, and they are serious about depopulating Earth to 500 million total global population because they tortured my teeth out of my mouth one by one, which hurts a lot more than getting them pulled at your local dentist. And when you know they do that to innocent vegetarians that attempt to press charges against people that want to depopulate the Earth, you know they are not stupid enough to do that. Lol. Lots of laughter indicating it's my joke. I do not really believe this. They told me little children taste best, a lot better than grown-ups. Surprise Prince EP to arrive 1 year after death. Rolling Stone. Prince delivers a fiery vocal and guitar performance on Deliverance, the title track from his new posthumous EP. Reminds me of Michael Jackson's and Queen's music released after their deaths. A world of entertainment, just a download away. Lol. Prince. D. This video is no longer available due to a copyright claim by Web Sheriff. Sorry about that. History. About press copyright creators advertise developers plus YouTube. Terms privacy policy and safety send feedback test new features. There must be a reason they are blocking this release. Hundreds of unreleased Prince songs and his whole life's work are downloadable via torrents. But no Deliverance. Prince's Deliverance, an impressive collection of unreleased songs. DeadlyBeast.com 7 hours ago. Your deliverance is at hand, and Prince was already delivered, I suppose. I do not believe. Lol. An almighty deity that does not prevent depleted uranium droppings and tactical nukes from going off in Syria seems to be fishy to me. Or rather, not there or incapable of preventing the thing, thus not almighty and or extremely benevolent. They suggest it created it in the first place, everything in existence. And if it created its free will, it's responsible for every little fucking thing it does because almighty. I have explained why it's scientifically proven beyond any reasonable doubt that God does not exist. And why this is important. To make America feel great again. Isn't that better, Misguide the Fool? To divide and rule. David Icke, davidic.com August 21, 2013. David Icke, Elite Divide and Rule Agenda. Humanity needs to get off. I think that's true. They need to get off, otherwise they do other stuff. A radiological water filter, that's a goodbye. Antifa Fresh, you can quote me on that. Dr. Pepper spray. Not that I drink that product with unfiltered tap water, I still have my brain. They're never gonna suspect the Amish. The Inquisition, I suppose. Determine the behavior or supervise the running of control. Nuclear expert. Everybody would die if World War III broke out. Even a couple of nuclear weapons could end the United States. Paul Joseph Watson, Infowars.com, April 20, 2017. Nothing about the directed energy weapons that have made nuclear weapons obsolete in the whole fucking articles. Divide and conquer. If we'd all do that, then we'd all be dead. An eye for an eye would make the whole world go blind. An eye for an eye only ends up making the whole world blind. Gandhi was the leader of the Indian nationalist, bbc.co.uk. Only the people that would not comply with an eye for an eye would keep their eyesight. If you would interpret it like that, they're just passing it on. If history is written by the victor, I have to doubt everything they say about Hitler. The orgasm is the ultimate experience because of evolution. Search results. Result for North Korea. Allied countries. In 1961, the two countries signed the Sino-North Korean Mutual Aid and Cooperation Friendship Treaty. whereby Communist China pledged to immediately render military and other assistance by all means to its ally against any outside attack. This treaty was prolonged twice, in 1981 and 2001, with a validity until 2021. Foreign relations of North Korea, Wikipedia. Who are the allies and enemies of South Korea? Enemies: North Korea, natural; China, Russia, allies, USA, because of Russia and China; Japan, because of USA, all others from South China Sea, because of China. Quora.com. Psychiatry is proven a fraud. Psychiatry Interrogated, an institutional ethnography anthology. NYC, YouTube channel. Tochev. Psychiatry is not an exact science to say the least. Mario Savio, leader of the free speech movement at UC Berkeley, 1964. Black Lives Matter. They may cause cancer. Isn't the title Black Lives Matter by itself racist? Of course it is. I think they know this. It's just a Luciferian joke. Bring out the love among the people themselves. White Lives Matter. 5,413 likes. If both black and white lives matter, why would you put only the word black or only the word white in front of it? It's racist. What do you all think? How about all non-mulatto lives matter? Would that be racist? Only albino lives matter is not allowed, I suppose. Trump is following Kissinger's playbook. FW and all the rape of justice recommended for you knew. It is possible Black Lives Matter is originally an anti-racistic movement, but that is not the point. Black Lives Matter. Guess the rest. If Trump builds the wall, won't they just come in as tourists? If so, then what's the problem? It will create jobs and keep out people that think they cannot go over it. The real fugitives that cost even more. So perhaps some people could not live with themselves after that. But that's no problem if you are really trying to depopulate. So it's to keep out the real fugitives only, perhaps. Urban Dictionary, SJW. Social justice warrior. Doesn't social justice man or woman sound better? Triggering people could lead to a nuclear war. Why not? Perhaps they've already worked it out. They'll let some judge block every decision President Trump makes, like auditing the Federal Reserve, and they still go ahead with their global government plans.
So at least some of this is meant as satire.
The president may be in on that, and I do not see any Tesla plasma shield around his head. So it's likely he's more brain control than the next person because he is the president. Trump quote, "Our great civilization, here in America and across the civilized world, has come upon the moment of reckoning. We've seen it in the United Kingdom, where they voted to liberate themselves from global government and global trade deals and global immigration deals that have destroyed their sovereignty. But the central base of world political power is here in America, and it is our corrupt political establishment that is the greatest power behind the efforts at radical globalization and the disenfranchisement of working people, sovereignty, supreme power or authority. So I have to worry about my sovereignty. If Trump isn't on the two-state solution world war, he may just be pretending he is against a global government. It's clear he was at that Jesuit dinner table with Hillary. See video. Yep, Donald Trump's companies have declared bankruptcy. More. PolitiFact.com, Donald Trump's bankruptcies. Snopes.com, fact check, has Trump declared bankruptcy 4 or 6 times? The WashingtonPost.com, Guk. Korean pronunciation, Kuk, also sometimes known as tang, is a class of soup-like dishes in Korean cuisine. Guk, a slimy, dirty, or otherwise unpleasant substance. Kuksarvative, often shortened to kuk, is a neologistic term of abuse formed as a portmanteau of the word cuckold and the political designation conservative. It has become an increasingly popular pejorative label used among alt-right supporters in the United States. Cuckold, the husband of an adulteress, often regarded as an object of derision. Dr. Cuckolds, derision, contemptuous ridicule or mockery. If cuckolds are good people that at least take care of the kids when their adulterating wife does not, then isn't it something to be proud of? It seems to me like they are trying to invent new words so their opponents do not know what they are talking about, and they use these words to change the subject to something else to hide their stupid opinion about the changed subject. These 2 points are theory. I have not studied it enough to have an opinion, but I do hold the opinion that a two-state solution world war would affect this reality more than whatever they are talking about. So it's worth an attempt to prevent a two-state solution world war. It seems to me they like the person that committed adultery better than the person that was loyal to their partner. The kids must be taken care of even if they are not genetically their own. Perhaps some of them are just pedophiles, cuckoldry as a fetish. Unlike the traditional definition of the term, in fetish usage a cuckold is complicit in his, or her, partner's sexual infidelity. The wife who enjoys cuckolding her husband is called a cuckoldress if the man is more submissive. Killing the adulteress is seen as justice by many true believers. It's clear what the Torah and Quran say about that. Diana was just one example. Perhaps they are afraid to say the word cuck and use cuck instead. Sexual fetishism controversial illegal. Ephebophilia, hebephilia, lust, murder, necrophilia, pedophilia, rape, fantasy, zoophilia. Fantasy can never be illegal. Do not believe what you read on Wikipedia, the CIA Vatican-controlled encyclopedia. You have the right to freedom of thought. The antonym of fantasy is reality. Simple rule, do not believe, period. God does not exist. Miracles do not exist. Synthetic telepathy in the neural network, aka voice of God weapon used to make the Iraqis surrender themselves, exist. Is what we are doing really living or just existing? No one has total control. That's the rule. Donald Trump hates a wrestling promoter Vince McMahon. Live leak on video the Jewish plan to Holocaust 70 million Germans. The Final Solution sabotaged, not playing nor downloadable. 1 minute of the video is played then it stops. About
I do not exist.
2.6 megabytes of the 18.3 megabyte sized video file is downloaded, then the download hangs and stops eventually. I've tried 3 ways to download the video to be able to play the video. Because several versions of this video are uploaded to LiveLeak and because of the importance of this document I suspect the video has been sabotaged by someone probably with wireless energy. Flyby through the wall radar, Poker Flat, Alaska, not herp. Wiki article that makes clear the final solution is originally a Jewish idea to exterminate the German people is altered to hide. It's the first use of the term final solution. Theodor Kaufman's book Germany Must Perish 1941. The plan to sterilize the German people. Rockefeller was not the only Jew depopulating you. Soros, Kissinger, Rothschild, Professor Pionka, Jesuits, Bones. Democide continues. If you know about the final solution idea, publish it online so their secret does not die with you. The death ray, synthetic telepathy and directed energy weapon torture are real. 90% of the mainstream media owned by Jews? Federal Reserve Bank run by Jews? 6 Jews that want to depopulate Earth. 1. Rockefeller. 2. Professor Eric Pionka. 3. George Soros. 4. Dr. Kissinger. 5. Bill Gates. 6. Rothschild. Their book quotes and Georgia Guidestones prove it beyond any reasonable doubt. They may use directed energy torture weapons on you if you would attempt to press charges of incitement to commit genocide. They have tortured my teeth out of my mouth one by one in pulsed energy projectile mode and my mother to death with their 5x camouflaged secret antenna array and are attempting to murder me because I did. They want to reduce the Earth's global population to 500 million, a more controllable number, to enslave everyone with their synthetic telepathy machine aka voice of God weapon. Watch directed energy weapons main depopulation tool. Jews depopulating the Earth. If you want to know more about Jews that served in Hitler's military. 6 Jews that want to depopulate you if you are a non-Jew, perhaps also if you are. To leave no trace of evidence, they are always the ones to tell you who your enemies are, but they are never the ones to fight and to die. Life's in the balance. They just want you to do their dirty work for them, murders, tortures, depopulating, manipulating evidence, etc., and after that get rid of you to leave no trace of evidence. They are not loyal to anyone but themselves in reality. They are ultra-malevolent terrorists with directed energy weapons posing as your saviors. Not my president, tinfoil hat ban. Because it is bad. But as an official for the Jehovah's Witness operation in Russia told NPR last May, the religion demands pacifism of its members and other behaviors the group maintains are contrary to the extremist charge. The main problem that we face now is misuse of the anti-extremism law. In the whole world, Jehovah's Witnesses are known as peaceful, obedient, respectful citizens. We respect government, and we are politically totally neutral, said Yaroslav Sivolsky, NPR.org. At least in our country, Netherlands, we are allowed to be pacifists. Jehovah's Witnesses targeted by Russia's anti-extremism laws simply for practicing their pacifist faith, say campaigners. Alexei Koptov, with his wife Lyubov, faces 6 years in prison after being found guilty of trying to revive the extremist Jehovah's Witnesses in Taganrog, independent.co.uk. Should Trump shave his head or lose his wig? Yes, no, no opinion. See the YouTube video. Wiki Final Solution article does not mention Final Solution, originally a Jewish idea. Important. The first mention of the Final Solution was in Theodor Kaufman's book Germany Must Perish in 1941, the plan to sterilize the German people. The Wiki article on the Final Solution does not mention this fact, and Wiki changed their article on Kaufman's book as covered in my previous broadcast. There was a power outage in Mijdrecht where I live, Netherlands, when I reported about the blocking of a liveleaks video about this subject and have not yet been able to watch it. The Jesuits, Freemasons and Jews and other people and groups depopulating the earth are often discussed in my videos to promote creating a cure against aging instead of war. War is always a crime, and a perfect society instead of a Luciferian global government after depopulating Earth to 500 million total global population, possibly with a two-state solution. World War. John Kerry Skull and Bones. The Final Solution, German, Endlösung, or the Final Solution to the Jewish Question, German, Die Endlösung der Judenfrage, pronounced D, N T, Lo, Z, D, Jew, D N, F, A, G, was a Nazi plan for the extermination of the Jews during World War II. This policy of deliberate and systematic genocide across German-occupied Europe was formulated in procedural terms by Nazi leadership in January 1942 at the Wannsee Conference near Berlin, 1, and culminated in the Holocaust, which saw the killing of 90% of Jewish Poles, 2, and 2/3 of the Jewish population of Europe. 3. The nature and timing of the decisions that led to the Final Solution is an intensely studied and debated aspect of the Holocaust. The program evolved during the first 25 months of war, leading to the attempt at murdering every last Jew in the German grasp. Citation needed. Most historians agree, wrote Christopher Browning, that the Final Solution cannot be attributed to a single decision made at one particular point in time. 4. It is generally accepted the decision-making process was prolonged and incremental. 5. In 1940, following the fall of France, the Madagascar Plan was devised by Adolf Eichmann in order to relocate Europe's Jewish population to the French colony. But the plan was abandoned for logistical reasons, mainly due to a naval blockade. 6. There were also plans to deport Jews to Palestine 7, and Siberia. 8. In 1941, wrote Roel Hilberg, in the first phase of the mass murder of Jews, the mobile killing units began to pursue their victims across occupied eastern territories. In the second phase, stretching across all of German-occupied Europe, the Jewish victims were sent on death trains to centralized extermination camps built for the purpose of systematic implementation of the Final Solution. This policy of deliberate and systematic genocide across German-occupied Europe was formulated in procedural terms by Nazi leadership in January 1942 at the Wannsee Conference near Berlin. Germany Must Perish is a 104-page book written by Theodor Kaufman, which he self-published in 1941 in the United States. The book advocated the genocide through sterilization of all Germans and the territorial dismemberment of Germany, believing that this would achieve world peace. Kaufman founded the Orgel Press in Newark, New Jersey, United States, in order to publish this book. He was the sole proprietor of the Orgel Press, and it is not known to have published any other works. The Nazi Party used the book, written by a Jewish author, to support their argument that Jews were plotting against their country.
Okay, so there are definitely people that have claimed that first use of the word final solution were in that book by Theodor Kaufman, in the book Germany Must Perish, in 1941. And on Wiki we read that, of course, this is confirmed by this article, and I've already covered that they've changed this article. The previous Wiki article had in it that it was the first mention of the final solution, and they've changed it. And the article before this one, you could also use cached-pages.com to check if that's true.
https://en.wikipedia.org/wiki/ Germany_must_perish!
So this is cached-pages.com, and with this you can find pages that have been removed from internet or changed, and then you can see a previous version as it existed, for example, in 2008. Oh, then it goes to 2008 that way. Okay, so you first just click here and then here, and then it starts loading the page, I suppose. Transferring, okay. Because I'm not sure, I'm checking. They changed something, I think. We can compare the articles, of course. Here we have this map also. Let's read this part then and compare if it's also in the old article.
Nazi reaction and use in propaganda. The book soon came to the attention of the Nazis. It was, and still is, widely quoted as advocating genocide by the Jews against the German people. 10. Kaufman was a Manhattan-born Jew, so his advocacy of such an idea attracted great attention. 11. Nazi propaganda denounced the book as an orgy of Jewish hatred and accused President Franklin D. Roosevelt of having inspired it. 12. Additionally, Germany Must Perish coincided with other Nazi proclamations about Anglo-American intentions, which the German population digested in the midst of ongoing economic sanctions against their country, Roosevelt's Lend-Lease program, and the widely reported failure of the United States to sponsor negotiations after Poland's defeat. American journalist Howard K. Smith was in Germany when Germany Must Perish came to light. He wrote, "No man has ever done so irresponsible a disservice to the cause his nation is fighting and suffering for than Nathan Kaufman sick." His half-baked brochure provided the Nazis with one of the best light artillery pieces they have. 4. Used as the Nazis used it, it served to bolster up that terror which forces Germans who dislike the Nazis to support, fight and die to keep Nazism alive. 13. Likewise, when the Jews of Hanover were forced from their homes on September 8, 1941, German authorities cited Kaufman's book as one of the reasons. 2. The controversial German nationalist philosopher and historian Ernst Nolte argues that the German reaction to Germany Must Perish supports his contention that the Holocaust was a reasonable, if excessive, response to German fears of worldwide Jewish plot. 14. In answer to this claim, it has been pointed out that while the book was a welcome piece of propaganda, its actual impact on Nazi genocide policies was not notable, and that Nold argues as if the radical views of one single American Jew can be construed to be representative of Jews worldwide.
So the article has changed, and I'm sure that I read somewhere that it's the first use of the word final solution. The words final solution. I would not make that up myself. So we can watch part of this video. I found it on YouTube basically, so that might work. We can watch a part of it, or I can comment on the video.
The final solution of extermination was not proposed by a German Nazi, but rather by an American Jew. And it was not the extermination of Jews which he proposed, but the genocide of German Gentiles. Theodor Kaufman advocated the genocidal sterilization of all Germans as a, quote, final solution in 1941 in his book Germany Must Perish. Here are relevant quotes from the evil book. Quote, "This dynamic volume outlines a comprehensive plan for the extinction of the German nation and the total eradication plan for the extinction of the German nation." Dynamic volume outlines quotes from the evil book. Quote, "This dynamic volume outlines a comprehensive plan for the extinction of the German nation and the total eradication from the earth of all her people. Also contained herein is a map illustrating the possible territorial dissection of Germany and the apportionment of her lands. Germany Must Perish presents a plan for the structure of a permanent and lasting peace among civilized nations. And there is one, and only one, such total penalty. Germany must perish forever, in fact, not in fancy. I feel no more personal hatred for these people, the Germans, than I might feel for a herd of wild animals or a cluster of poisonous reptiles. They have lost the wish to be human beings. They are but beasts. They must be dealt with as such. There is only one way to frustrate such a desire. The goal of world dominion must be removed from the reach of the German, and the only way to accomplish that is to remove the German from the world. The vicious virus of Germanism had been injected into the life stream of the public, and the Germans awaited the epidemic which they felt must sooner or later infest the world." Kaufman continues, quote, "A final solution, let Germany be policed forever by an international armed force. Even if such a huge undertaking were feasible, life itself would not have it so. As war begets war, suppression begets rebellion, undreamed horrors would unfold. Thus we find that there is no middle course, no active mediation, no compromise to be compounded, no political or economic sharing to be considered. There is, in fine, no other solution except one, that Germany must perish forever from this earth. There
So, if any of you have evidence that proves otherwise, that there was an earlier mention documented of the final solution, then please Skype me, Prologic999 on Skype, and please comment, like and subscribe, etc. I could use, and others could also use your support, basically, for universal peace. And there is no good reason not to prepare for these calamities, nuclear calamities, meltdowns and ISIS attacks, missing nuke according to Alex Jones, and a possible nuclear world war with a radiological water filter.
Remains now but to determine the best way, the most practical and expeditious manner in which the ultimate penalty must be levied upon the German nation. Quite naturally, massacre and wholesale execution must be ruled out. In addition to being impractical when applied to a population of some 70 million, such methods are inconsistent with the moral obligations and ethical practices of civilization. There remains the but one mode of ridding the world forever of Germanism, and that is to stem the source from which issue those war-lusted souls, by preventing the people of Germany from ever again reproducing their kind. This modern method, known to science as eugenic sterilization, is at once practical, humane, and thorough. Sterilization has become a byword of science as the best means of ridding the human race of its misfits, the degenerate, the insane, the hereditary criminal. The population of Germany, excluding conquered and annexic territories, is about 70 million, almost equally divided between male and female. To achieve the purpose of German extinction, it would be necessary to only sterilize some 48 million, a figure which excludes, because of their limited power to procreate, males over 60 years of age and females over 45. Taking 20,000 surgeons as an arbitrary number, and on the assumption that each will perform a minimum of 25 operations daily, it would take no more than 1 month at the maximum to complete their sterilization. The balance of the male civilian population of Germany could be treated within 3 months. Another staunch proponent of the genocide of Germans was Ilya Ehrenberg, a notorious Jewish communist propagandist from the Soviet Union who, like his kinsman Theodor Kaufman, agitated for genocide against Germans during the Second World War. Ehrenberg's hate-filled, genocide-yearning exhortations to the Soviet Red Army inspired the mass rape of several million German women by the Red Army at the war's end. In one leaflet entitled "Kill," Ehrenberg incited the simple Russian soldier to treat the Germans as subhuman. The final paragraph concludes, quote, "The Germans are not human beings. From now on, the word German is the most horrible curse. From now on, the word German strikes us to the simple Russian soldier to treat concludes, quote, "The Germans are not human beings." Ehrenberg incited the end.
So this looks like a painting to me, basically.
In one leaflet entitled "Kill," Ehrenberg incited the simple Russian soldier to treat the Germans as subhuman. The final paragraph concludes, quote, "The Germans are not human beings. From now on, the word German is the most horrible curse. From now on, the word German strikes us to the quick. We have nothing to discuss. We will not get excited. We will kill. If you have not killed at least one German a day, you have wasted that day. If you cannot kill a German with a bullet, then kill him with your bayonet. If your part of the front is quiet and there is no fighting, then kill a German in the meantime. If you have already killed a German, then kill another one. There is nothing more amusing to us than a heap of German corpses. Don't count the days, don't count the kilometers, count only one thing, the number of Germans you have killed. Kill the Germans, kill the Germans, kill." Appealing to the lowest, most subhuman instincts of this Bolshevik horde, he reiterated his genocidal message, quote, "Kill, kill, in the German race there is nothing but evil. Not one among the living, not one among the yet unborn, but is evil. Use force and break the racial pride of these German women. Take them as your lawful booty. Kill, as you storm onward. Kill, you gallant soldiers of the Red Army. Why is the world largely unaware of this Jewish final solution to German people? The world is likewise kept in the dark about the Jewish final solution to Russian people. In 1919, Jewish communist butcher Grigory Zinoviev is quoted in a speech advocating the annihilation of 10 million Russians. He said, and I quote, "To overcome our enemies, we must have our socialist militarism. We must win over to our side 90 millions out of the 100 millions of population of Russia under the Soviets. As for the rest, we have nothing to say to them. They must be annihilated," unquote. On a side note, the phrase, "the final solution to the Jewish question," is a direct quote from the Zionist manifesto published in 1897 and was referring to the creation of a Jewish homeland or state. It was the phrase, "the final solution to the Jewish question," for the rest, we have nothing to say to them. They must be annihilated, unquote. On a side note, the phrase, "the final solution to the Jewish question," is a direct quote from the Zionist manifesto published in 1897 and was referring to the creation of a Jewish homeland or state. It was a phrase coined by Zionists and was commonly used in Zionist literature throughout the late 1800s and early 1900s, long before the Nazis came to power in Germany in 1933.
So then it is originally a Jewish idea, basically. Wow, that's great. Thanks for the video, and to write, thank you for uploading this and stuff. And do you have any information of the first mention of the final solution? But then it's final solution and democide or genocide, sterilization, depopulation, basically. In Theodor Kaufman's book, Germany Must Perish. Yeah, Alex Jones also talks a lot about depopulating the earth. He also mentioned Professor Pianka in his broadcast. He didn't say he's Jewish. He says he's Jewish of himself. I can show you the video also. You can also look it up on YouTube for yourself. I don't believe in the concept anyway. We're all descendants of Lucy and the hominids. I don't think one people is chosen over another, or superior to another, or inferior. I don't believe in racism, homophobia, though I think that Islamophobia I do believe in racism and homophobia. I know that they exist, basically. People see it as being racistic or homophobic. But I do not believe in Islamophobia. Because there are 164 Jihad Quran verses. So perhaps you should study those if you think that Islam, if you still believe that Islam is a peaceful religion. Study the Mushrikin Kafir, basically, how they are instructed to murder them, etc. And similar things in the Quran, in the Torah, I mean, about killing the Plishtim, Girgashim, etc., the Palestinian people, and others. So they want permanent bases in the Middle East. A video of General Wesley Clark. But it's pretty late. It's 1:25 on my clock. On the other one's 2:25. So this one's still an hour behind. There are some people that want to get rid of summer and winter time. It's kind of a nuisance with their watch having to adjust the time and hour. So you can also write in the comments or we can do a live. You can be live in a broadcast with me. So people can write me prologic999 on Skype, or email me, or whatever. So I'm not, so we must watch out for generalizations. Basically, people know this already. We don't have to be politically super correct, but I think that we should not generalize, and perhaps we should also not generalize all Nazis. Not generalizing all Jewish people and all Muslims. Muslims have never done a terrorist attack in the Netherlands, or at least not in the last 20 years or whatever. I checked that, did the broadcast about that as well. However, I think it's still a dangerous ideology, and I did vote for Geert Wilders, and I did plan on voting for Trump, but I didn't have the form in time. Otherwise I would have voted Trump, but he won, to my surprise, and my one vote, I realized, would not have made a whole heck of a lot of difference. So, single ladies are welcome for the free shiatsu hand massage, and if I like you, a foot massage as well. Drink some coconut pineapple juice or aloe, whatever you like. I use filtered tap water for lemonade. And I advise, if you want to get an air cleaner with an ionizer, or cheap ionizer at least from eBay, which you can also use in your cancer-causing Tachinellus car. I also have one, so I'm not going to build a water-powered car myself, though perhaps I could if I put my mind to it. And your car may be easy to convert in a hybrid that has boosting of water, basically. Burning H2O2 first. Do they call it dialysis? No. It's more like chemo, basically. I don't know. You can study the water-powered car.com car. I know that internal combustion engine, first internal combustion engine used water and not cancer oil petroleum based fuel. And of course it's a $1 trillion industry, the cancer oil world. So General Wesley Clark made clear that they want permanent bases in these 7 countries. And you can see his YouTube video about this as well. So it's not a new idea. And I'm wearing my Trump t-shirt because, oh yeah, I left out in my previous video, also I voted, or I'm pro-Trump, I endorse Trump. Because he has planned to audit the Fed, and because I disagree with allowing an unlimited amount influx of immigrants, because some people want to do that to crash the economy and impose martial law and totalitarian Luciferian global governments upon the people of planet Earth, and also to depopulate the Earth. We have the fake ISIS attacks, the Bakr al-Baghdadi, or whatever his name is, leader of ISIS, a Zionist agent in reality. And Bin Laden's real name is Tim Osman, supposedly a CIA asset. But they're still attacking my throat, possibly with their hybrid insects, so I hope the resistance soon relieves me of these remotely controlled HIMEMS, hybrid insect microelectric mechanical systems, or at least they're controlled with synthetic telepathy. The controller showed me with the centipede that I caught in the UMC hospital, about which I also did a video. Centipedes in my body, please help. and people have thousands of organisms in their body. According to the doctors, I have none. They've done 4 tests: colonoscopy, bronchoscopy, CT scan, PET scan. They didn't find any, so I cannot convince them, and they have no cure if there are centipedes in my body. And people have contacted me. They were also misdiagnosed, and in previous videos I talk about this. Centipede venom is harmless, and I still eat my own sperm. That's healthy, tastes alright, and it's scientifically proven to be healthy, so you can Google that as well. If you Google, you go to hell. I can't punish you. You don't know the Amish. Synthetic telepathy, impressive. No, I'm kidding. Of course, it's all sarcasm. No, flat satires. Could be. Well, I think not all of it, but well, you have to judge for yourselves. I think it's clear, usually. But I've indicated anything can be satire now. Whoopity-doo-da. Flapper-dee-doo-up-a-loo-shabab. That giraffe looks ready. It doesn't look that good from this angle, basically. It looks very good from here. But I think it's a very realistic scale model. Giraffes are awesome. Okay. So up to today I've never seen that video before, because it's also on LiveLeak, and I've attempted to download it to watch it, because it played only 1 minute and then it was hanging. And this was uploaded in 2016, so I'm happy I found this on YouTube. And number 6 million was also used in the, according to the New York Times, long before the Second World War, etc. But that's all in the sector Holocaust denial, basically, which is a subject that in the Netherlands is it illegal to talk about it? I'd have to check. Perhaps you could let me know in the comments. At least you can talk about it being illegal if it is. Oh yeah, I did an article or I read a wiki article about it, about Holocaust denial. It's explained in there, so that it basically by itself is not illegal, but it's considered incitement to commit, sort of triggering, basically. So that's why it's illegal, sort of. So whatever. I think it's an interesting phenomena. Also because of 6 Jewish people that want to depopulate the earth, but there are lots of non-Jewish people involved in that as well. So that's fucking boring, basically. So I like to use that word because it may be better to have sex with a partner if you have one, massage each other and have sex, and it's the most healing thing to do, I think. So this broadcast for Universal Peace is also about healing. So education is an element, healing, the therapies, 3 therapies, aromatherapy, sex therapy, laughing therapy, magnet therapy. There are only 3. It's my joke usually. Yeah, that's probably the most important thing, education. So some say the best way to learn is to teach, test everything you learn, stay proactive rather than reactive to achieve your goals as fast as possible and as good as possible, or to not let you divert, do not let yourself be diverted of your path, your goal. I hear it in German in my head somehow, so I guess everybody's connected to their neural network. Well, they know that I've been saying that it's illegal to inject voice-to-skull messages and stuff like that from the very beginning, basically, when I read about synthetic telepathy. And that is, I think, associated with directed energy weapon torture, so even talking about it was at that time a reason to attack me, I think. But usually they try to use what they call red herrings, distraction, to change the subject into another subject. I love this pipe also, Stanwell. I've already shown my sulfur crystals in the previous video. So in this one I could show this one, for example. It's a cool quartz crystal. I have to light it. Too much light again. I think aqua quartz or whatever. So let me know if I should do an ASMR broadcast. Perhaps I should have whispered this whole broadcast to be original. Just trying to have fun. Yeah, this t-shirt was cheap on eBay, so I thought, yeah, why not? It's cool. I bought XXXL, so it's a bit smaller than the advertised, I guess. But it is cool. Okay. My house dance with President Donald Trump. So, what do you all think about that part where he beats up a wrestling person? What was his name again? Oh. Anyway, you can Google that. In my previous broadcast you can see Donald Trump beating the person on the floor and everything. Do you think it's fake or do you think it's real? I wonder. It looks kind of real. I thought it had a tooth flying across the floor, but I think it was something else. And I think that it might be fake, but yeah, I don't know. Thinking if there's anything else that's important. Muna. It's a type of mental mental stachicytose. I like the oil better. Anyway,